Okay, what is Chambers of My Heart? What is that?
Hey guys, it's your humble host, Archie, if you prefer. So I'm back with a quick update video. I do apologize, I haven't really been active anywhere. I do have a few people trying to DM me here and there, and it takes me a day or two, three at best, to get back to people. Again, I apologize, just real life stuff, and I'm focusing my energy, or rather putting the focus of my energy in other places, more particularly my job. Um, I did have some things come up, car related issues, a workplace accident, not me, but someone I know, and then did try to go for a supervisor position, and it literally came down to someone had more experience than I did. And you know what? I'm not disappointed with the pick. I'm really not. But I really am trying to grow where I'm at, so that does require more focus, more of my time, because there's a lot to learn with my particular job, and anything could really happen on my job. So again, I do apologize about the lack of content. I do still post in my Discord here and there. There hasn't been any updates really, save James wise. I have seen a few things in passing, of course. I'm becoming a little bit more aware of the current red pill community. Oi, what was it I saw in passing? Oh, yes, something about a leftist YouTuber known as a creep who is for lolly and recently decided to accidentally expose his prawn collection via stream and is now choosing the hill to die on for lolly. And not to mention, there's a lot of clips and screenshots from his Discord saying that the age of consent should be lowered, pedophilic stuff, so gross. People are just really falling off the wagon. I did watch Mr. Medicare's, the recording of his Valentine's Day live stream. Yikes. I knew Ethan Ralph was a piece of shit, but I didn't realize just how much of a piece of shit. Like, he actually threatened to kill one of his wives, and she rightfully escaped with their kid. Heck, my ass would be out the door too. Hopefully she's safe, because that's really messed up. Uh, what else have I seen in passing? I'm trying not to bury myself in politics too much. I am watching stuff on and off about our border. A bot is rightfully disregarding anything the Biden administration says, and I know they're trying to strip Texas's power using the Supreme Court, because a bot has had enough, and honestly, we shouldn't be taking anybody in. We have immigrants, illegals, people who claim asylum come in. At one point, there's even an article that came out about how a bunch of people tried to rush the border and got rightfully stopped with tear gas. It is actually so bad in Texas right now that there is a standoff between, I believe, the border agents and the Texas National Guard, and in regard to the barbed wire, and some of the immigrants, a mother and child, drowned just because the situation is so bad, and now Biden wants to make a path of citizenship for all the people that are here. And the area that I live in, freaking these immigrants wind up on the streets. There's nothing for them here. Like, there really isn't. So you're letting a bunch of people in because you tell them, like, hey, if you vote for me, you can stay. That's pretty much what's going on. But they get dumped on the streets right away. We don't have the resources. We have our own homeless problem. We have vets, mentally ill, and all kinds of people already living on the streets. And all we're doing with bringing these people in is dumping on the flipping streets. That's it. And a bot, honestly, for the past couple months, because I believe Florida was kind of doing the same thing, is shipping all these quote unquote asylum seekers to the sanctuary cities. And you know what? Rightfully so. If you claim you want the people here and that you should house them, you can have them. Now, what really sucks, it sucks for these people that are trying to get into the country because they're told this and that, promise all these things, again, only to be bussed and dumped in the street or dumped in homeless shelters. It it's fucked up for them. It's fucked up for us. It's fucked up for what our government is doing. It's clearly not giving a shit. And I actually saw something in passing how the governor of New York, I forget what her witch face is, another one of these hags helping run the country into the ground, actually said, or it's implied that she said that she wants to start to deport them. So it's just a mess. And I've been watching articles on and off. Again, trying to tune a lot of this stuff out because it's just depressing. This is the same freaking crap over and over again. And again, I'm trying to focus my mental energy elsewhere. Really not a whole lot going on my end outside of work. Had a rather big car issue, which can get really expensive. A catalytic converter. Oh, yeah, no. That is one expense I don't want to deal with for a very, very long time. It's obviously tax season, so waiting for that stuff to get processed. Let's see what else is going on. Again, I do apologize for those of you who have been trying to DM me, having a conversation back and forth. I haven't really been paying attention to my DMs very much, or I have notifications turned off on my devices, so I don't get woken up. I'm not ignoring you, I'm just busy, and because of my shift of focus, I'm not able to attend to my social media quite as much. Even my personal Facebook, I don't post as much as I used to, my Twitter, what have you. I am trying to exercise a little bit more here and there. I just want to better myself, and I try to watch some content that I would normally click on and be able to sit through. And these days, I'm just finding that I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to it. It's the same disgusting shit from the same disgusting communities. I mean, what was it? This is nothing to the creator Tom Dark. It had to do with freaking furries again being fucking degenerates. What's new with that community? And then there's some other stuff that what it's the same dumb shit. Oh, what was it? Members of the community freaking let a predator stick around for 2 years and nobody did a damn thing. You know, it's the same freaking shit. Some of the clip channels I watch, again, same stuff. The person that they're clipping, people are implying that that creator that's being clipped is literally dying. Yes, I'm referencing Rikita Law. I can't even sit through the freaking clips anymore, not because of anything Elisa's doing, but because the clips themselves, it's literally watching somebody purposely flush themselves down the toilet with alcohol. There's only so much of that you can watch and go, what are you doing? So again, I'm really trying to tune a lot of this stuff out. I'm actually finding that the more that I stay away from it, the less I have interactions with it. And the more that I focus on work and trying to exercise a bit more, I'm actually doing a bit better. I don't find myself as mentally exhausted. It's easier to deal with some personal stuff. So again, apologies. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm really, really not. There's just more important things that I want to focus on, and I really want to grow and change in and try to absorb everything that I can. I'm not someone who likes to put in a lot of OT, especially when it comes to security, because that can get draining really freaking quick. And I've had past security companies run me ragged or attempt to. And this job that I have now is honestly really important to me, and it's very different from all the jobs, including the ones that have nothing to do with security. It just, this particular job, I wouldn't have been able to get a few years ago. Like, there's no way in hell I would have been able to acquire this job. And even when going for the supervisor position, literally being told by my supervisor, like, they are blown away with all the interviews, including mine, and it literally came down to who had the most experience because we like everybody, but now we're going to start to really comb through stuff with a fine tooth comb. And yeah, again, I'm not disappointed with the pick. I actually had a feeling as to who the new supervisor was going to be before the interviews. When I first met my coworker, they just felt different to me, and I literally asked them, "Hey, are you going to be a supervisor?" So, little foreshadowing there, and I caught wind of it even before any of the stuff that went down did. Just a little bit discernment there, just kind of a gut feeling. Again, not disappointed with the pick. So I think the individual is going to work out great. Um, anyway, so I'm pleased with the condition of my employment. It is nice to be able to show my skills and talents and then be appreciated for that and actually respected for that and be given grace. It's been a couple rough months because some stuff has obviously come up. I thought at one point I had to scrap my other car, which thank God I didn't. That was a whole ordeal. But anyway, so I could ramble here all night. I really don't want to. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Um, Hopefully, your Valentine's Day was nice, or if you're just able to relax. Um, Biggest thing I can leave because I don't know when my next video is going to be because these seem to be a month at a time. But I guess just figure out what's going to help you grow and change. And if you're in a job that's kind of dragging you down, I mean, it took weeks for me to find my current job. And the original posting I applied to wasn't even the job I had now. It was an alternative that was offered to me. So get something that's really going to help you grow and change. And I can't emphasize that enough. And this job that I have is and has been a learning curve because there's a lot to it. It's really fucking important to me. And there's things that I obviously need to work on. There's stuff that I already know how to do that I do not have to be trained on whatsoever because the set of skills I managed to acquire over the years through, say, the Save James stuff, online situations, my other past jobs. So there's certain stuff I did not have to be trained on that I instantly knew how to do right away. So, which is nice. But yeah, just if you really want to grow and change, you have to make an effort, and it's hard, and it's going to suck. And this is not supposed to be a pep talk video, but I cannot emphasize that enough. And the biggest thing too, it's just remain humble because you're going to run into people who all it could be is maybe a miscommunication or they're used to doing things a certain way. For me, I always run into with all my freaking jobs, all of them is people have to learn to communicate with me a certain way. I'm not stupid, but I really don't like to be talked to a certain way. And my bosses have, thankfully, this is the one job to where I can say bosses have made an effort to change the communication and me do the same because it's a growing experience and adjustment both ways. That's how you can also tell you when you have a good boss, when they do take the time to change and go, hey, you know what, let's actually try this. And then they see it work and you have to be committed. And there's just a lot of stuff. So, yes. But yeah, that's just an example. With all my jobs, people have to take into account the way to communicate with me, because there's a particular way, there's certain ways, or certain things I respond to, not in the best way. You get aggressive with me, I'm gonna get defensive and possibly a little aggressive back. But with the just approach, just neutral manner, I'm gonna respond more positive than I would if you come at me with aggression. And I'm not shit talking any of my bosses. I'm just saying that's just an example as what I've seen that my bosses actually give a shit. I'm actually somewhere where my bosses give a shit. My last job wasn't too bad, but I hit the wall over there. So anyway, this video is getting longer than what I intended it to be, and hopefully, I know it sounds like a ramble, but holy hell, I haven't put anything out in a month, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. And again, I could sit here all night, but I'm not going to. So again, broken record. Biggest thing I'll leave you with as I walk away, possibly for another month. We'll see. If you really want to grow and change, you have to put yourself in a spot, whether that's a job, environment, people. That's also another emphasize I'm going to put there. If you were finding you were stuck in the same freaking rut, you might need to change who you associate with and who you hang out with. I'm not kidding. If you really want to have an impact, a change, and grow within yourself, you need to be around people who challenge you. And you'll discover that there is a difference in quality of people. And that's something I'm seeing on the internet too. It's the same group of people that are hanging around the same freaking shit and they expect something different, and then the same shit fucking happens and everyone's surprised Pikachu face. And it's like, no. Some of you guys should never have associated with each other because you guys are just toxic as hell for each other. Anyway, so people, environment, job, whatever. You should see my hands right now. They're quite animated. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. Hope you guys are doing well. Spring is coming, so yay. I know in my area it's trying to spit out the last remnants of snow. So I've had my plans snowed out for the past 2 weekends. Yeah. Anyway, have a good night, good morning, whenever you guys see this. And I can't promise I'm going to be around more because, stuff. But hopefully I'll talk with you guys soon.